again is Kent County Undersheriff Jon Hess. I really appreciate you joining us. When you look at those live images out there and how that tragedy is impacting everyone, including the investigators, how do you prepare for something like that?
Well, as I said earlier, we prepare physically, but we have to prepare emotionally. These officers respond, all the first responders, with their training to do the very best for everybody, but they too, like everyone else, have to deal with this after it's over. They may show up to work tomorrow and have to respond to a similar incident again or another tragedy. So we really need to make sure they have the peer support that they need to deal with all these tragic incidents.
It's just so hard, you know, and as we've seen in some of the other, we've mentioned some of the other shootings that have happened in the United States, we've seen as a result of those tragedies, you know, it takes a long time for the community to respond and be able to cope with what's happened, because even months later, and of course law enforcement is part of the community, to be able to move on and try and make sense of situations like this, it's a long process.
It's a long process as parents, as community, people that live in the community, but again, as first responders, they deal with these every day. They're going to have to deal with another tragic incident. This isn't the only one that they're going to respond to and deal with. So it's so important that we give them the support that they need and the emotional training that they need to help them get through this with their families, with their loved ones as well.
And also help the community as they move forward. It's just heart-wrenching for a parent to have to even just try and put yourself in that situation. It's just awful to even think about. And as we see all the law enforcement that are pouring into that area, doing their jobs and just moving forward to help the people in that situation, the training is extensive, and helping the community, of course, is what they've decided to do with their lives. And so I think they become prepared for it in a sense, but then also have to go home to their families and reassure them as well.
You do, and you never forget. As the lieutenant from the state police said today, they'll be there all day, they'll be there all night. They'll remember where they were when they got the call, what happened, as I will today. I was at a luncheon having 10 little kids, kindergarten kids, serenade us with Christmas carols. Oh. And got in the car, heard about this, and I'll never forget that. Their faces will always be in my mind, just like all the officers will remember this incident when they go to their next one.
Absolutely. Undersheriff Hess, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your perspective tonight.